Got to remember to get in light this time, because whenever I vlog from here, you can't see anything. Welcome to UK theme parks. We are at Xtreme Scream Park, one of our favourite haunt places in the country, full stop. We love coming here, really love coming here, and it is 6 mazes this time round as well. And as always, we do queue for Hoodoo Voodoo first, because whilst they say start at the back, it's not quite dark yet, and this is a great one to start with. I will say now, Hoodoo Voodoo is on form. Last year it was a bit hit and miss because of COVID situation. This year it's back to touching, it's back to whispering in the air, it's back to ripping the bag off your head. The smoke they're using, I'm sure it's darker inside, it's just magnificent, really is. And of course they have a laser section with smoke going over. Did get a scare in there as well, plenty of jumping out. Amazing, genuinely loved it. That is Hoodoo Voodoo. And here's what's here this year. We'll try and get in some light because it is difficult to read. Everyone's getting scared. So, Hoodoo Voodoo, which we've done. The Village, one of our favourite all-time attractions. Hell Penitentiary, the Pie Factory, which has got a new ending for this year. Ashes to Earth, and Belvoir Manors, which was changed last year. So it used to be a 2-tier one, it's now a single tier one. We weren't too sure on it last year, so really looking forward to getting back on it this year. But this is Xtreme Scream Park, and this is the way we're going now towards the next one. Hoodoo Voodoo was a massive win. Really enjoyed that. And I think we normally do the Belvoir Manor next, as it's all indoors and it's just around the corner here. I don't know where the Clown Maze is, to be honest. So it's something we've got to look forward to as well. So it's Belvoir Manor. They used to enter here when it was 2-story high, but now you do enter around the corner in the little village thing. And you'll see as well the Pie Factory up ahead. Tickle! Clowns are out. The clowns are out in force. So as you come up to this bit, this is sort of the hub of Xtreme Scream Park. You have to remember this is Twinlakes during the day, a family theme park. And whilst they get to see sort of Hoodoo Voodoo down from where Excalibur is, they don't get to see all of this, which we'll show you in a minute. But Belvoir Manor is the entrance here, and that is our next stop. It was completely changed last year. We really weren't too sure on it, so quite looking forward to getting back in and giving it another go. Of course, with your tickets, you do just get one single entry to each maze. That's it. So you kind of have to take it in all at once. Belvoir Manor, let's do this. Some great theming as we come down here. Old timely music. And of course, there's the manor. Some lovely bits of scenery as we enter the arena area, which oddly enough, normally you can go over on the grass, but doesn't look like you can go over on the grass this time. Or have they changed it? That's the question. Do rather like the fire eaters. Always very good. And of course we actually have a shop, so we're going to have a quick look inside the shop. An actual real life shop. Normally it's just a little stall somewhere, but we've got some pin badges as well, some lovely lanyards, some ponchos. I don't know if you're going to get wet. Some new hoodies. I quite like the purple one actually. So this is what the new one looks like, which has got everything that's part of this year's. I quite like that purple one. But here's our fire eater. We always come and see the fire eater every year. Very talented they are, very talented. Yeah, they're Very good, very, very, very good. And of course we have kind of a sit down area and a big clown over here as well. Big clown, big scarecrow, as obviously the village is just up there. Now then, before we go any further, that was Belvoir Manor. I have to say, I prefer it as Stilton Hall Hotel. It's got some lovely sets in there, don't get me wrong, it does look really nice. And there is a vile smell halfway through as well, which is obviously part of the act. There's definitely some new scenes. We don't remember last year the sort of stage area with them playing the kind of the violin on his throat that's come out in skeleton. I appreciate you can't see it, we're not allowed to film in the mazes. And also there was some light boxes towards the end. It has a really uninspiring finish. You're kind of auctioned off as you walk around the bed, and then you go into the light boxes and you think there's going to be one final thing, and there's an actress at the end, it was, and then you just walk out. It really was not a powerful ending. Compared to Hoodoo Voodoo, which we thought was incredible this year, possibly the best year it's had, yeah, a little bit let down by that. I really prefer Stilton Hall Hotel with all the rooms and things. It really broke up the groups a lot better as well as you kind of maneuvered around into different rooms. This one you are more subject to catch people up. There's 25 seconds between groups. But there we go, it looks fantastic in there. The actors obviously do an amazing job. There was no jump scares in there for me this time round. But yeah. So it has changed here. I'm sure we used to have more grass here. And used to be able to go sit down the bottom, and it used to have the stage down the back. Looks like everything's been brought forward a bit. Of course, here are the fantastic fire eaters. So that is the Toxic Dolls, the fire eaters. They're here every single year. They did message me on Facebook and Instagram, and I haven't responded to them, which was really bad of me, and I do apologise, but we will plug them while we're here. We will put a link in the description, and of course we will plug them again on Facebook as well. The Toxic Dolls are performing here at Xtreme Scream Park, and they are magnificent, absolutely magnificent. Not something I want to be doing, but look at them, look, they are brilliant, genuinely brilliant. Brilliant. But we've got other mazes to do, and we will catch them again later as well. The whole Palladium sort of area here, the stage area, has been completely redone. You used to just walk down to the Hell Penitentiary here. You've now got seating arrangements, and you approach it from a slightly different area. The new clown maze is just here. That is something we're going to do, and you never will be able to walk under this goat run. I think it's a goat run. I'm quite sure it's a goat run. But the clowns are in situ in there. That is one we are heading into soon. It has actually got dark now, so we'll be able to go in there. Yeah, we'll be able to go in there really soon. They're in the village, and I'm really looking forward to this new one as well. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. Or one of the new attractions. Obviously the Ashes to Hell is down the bottom. But yeah, completely redeveloped this. I don't think it's used during the year for Twinlakes. I think it's only used for Xtreme Scream Park. But of course, here is Hell Penitentiary, a staple of the park. Terrifying 11 out of 10. Those that follow the channel know that the strobe lighting on this is magnificent. It really is something to desire, and I cannot wait to get back inside here. We're just going to hold fire on our review of Hell Penitentiary. We want to get a couple more mazes done. So we are going to head down to the new one now, Ashes to Earth, which I've read nothing about, so I have no idea what it's about. Look at the unfair fairground. Looks like a little walkthrough. See one of the actor guys here, look, he's... Oh, I can hear chainsaws. I like chainsaws. Whoa, look at this guy. I have no idea where he's from either. Can you actually run it? The unfair fairground. Right, well, it's Ashes to Earth first, and then we're going to come back and we're going to hit the unfair fairground. Well, unfair fun fair. Jesus Christ, why can't I get that one right? First, Ashes to Earth. Right, we'll put the new one on pause because there is quite a long queue for it. We've just been through the unfair fun fair. I don't really get it. You kind of walk in, there's no walls or anything, so you can go wherever you like. You end up coming out the back part where there's sort of clowns and stalls and things for you to look through, and then you make your way back. So you do end up bumping into quite a lot of people. Again, apologies if you can't see me, it's dark out here. you do end up bumping into a lot of people, but you know, I kind of left, although I don't really know what went on, I did kind of leave with a smile on my face, so I guess it worked. Now, coming down here is one of my favourite mazes, and it's got no queue, so I have to be honest, given that it is now dark, as you can probably see on the camera and just hear my voice, we're going to do the village. I bloody love the village. The school scene still creeps me out every time. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the village. Toxic dolls are back, but that was the village. Now, funny enough, the pie factory isn't up there anymore, even though the sign's up there for the pie factory. Apparently the entrance is somewhere else, which we now have to go and look for, but that's fine. So that was the village. That was intense, really, really intense. One of the spookiest mazes ever, honestly, that we've ever been in. And I will go as far as saying the school scene in there, anyone that's been on the maze, the school scene is the best scene I think I've ever experienced on a scare maze, ever. Every year, doesn't matter what the rest of the maze is like, it never fails. So it's about experiments that's been ongoing, with, you know, scarecrows, and it's kind of walk through a house, and you walk through like a little junkyard, and then you go into the school, which is mental, and then you go to sort of a hospital area before coming into the church at the end. The church has a live scarecrow, that makes sense? A live scarecrow telling you what's going on, and kind of doing a ceremony, and all of a sudden the lights kick in, and it just goes dark. It just goes dark. So there's no runners. We have had running crows there before, but they're crows that just sit there and wait for the moment to come and pop out at you. The school scene though, the lighting in there was fantastic. It really, really was fantastic. I loved it, loved it. Now then, Hell Penitentiary, we've had a little think about it. I have to say, it's the worst I've seen it. I'm really, really sorry. Something I always praise the maze for every single year. Anyone that knows the channel and knows when we come to Xtreme Scream Park, I say every single year, the lighting, the on, the off, the long on, and then the off pause. Quite a long off pause of a couple of seconds is what does that maze, because actors can move around, they can get close to you without you even noticing. They changed the lighting. They've changed the lighting. There's no long off period anymore, and you can just see too much. You can see where the actors are. I had no jump scares in there. I will say, I'm really disappointed with Hell Penitentiary. Real shame. I don't know why they chose to do that. Whether or not it's because people stop a lot, and maybe it's for throughput reasons, whether or not people were bumping into things, I don't know, but it's just one of those things. You want to rate it 11 out of 10, you've got to have that element in there, and unfortunately, whilst it is a fantastic looking maze, don't get me wrong, a fantastic looking maze, the lighting made that maze. The village, however, and the changes on there and the lighting, spot on, spot on. Really enjoyed the village, and I think that's probably my favourite maze so far, and that's after Hoodoo Voodoo was brilliant, brilliant. Toxic Dolls back on the stage. Yeah, special, really, really good. Now we're gonna go try and find the entrance to the pie factory before going back to Ashes to Earth. And there's loads of, just missed it, loads of random fire effects going around. Loads of random fire effects going around. Coming out the bus here. We won't catch it now. It won't go off. Look, the clowns on the front. Not going to go off now, is it? But we are going to go and find the entrance to the pie factory, which has been changed for this year. Now, we've never walked up. There's the exit to the pie factory. We've never walked up here before, and we can hear voices. So we believe the entrance is up here. I won't lie to you, a little bit more signage wouldn't go astray. And we're at, I don't know. Is this the entrance? I have no idea. Genuinely not a clue if this is the entrance. There is no signage whatsoever. Just gonna guess, just gonna go for a little walk through it and see where we end up. That kind of makes sense because there's the village. So this would have been the old entrance which come down here. I wonder what they've suddenly, it looks like it's a really late decision to change it and they haven't moved the signage with it. Okay, so now we're in the normal queue for the pie factory. Now this is always a good maze. I've never had a bad run through this. Again, cracking scenery, amazing strobe light section in the middle, and this has a new ending as well, or certainly an extension. Not really sure which way around it is, but never have a bad run through this. Obviously we can't film in the mazes today. I'm very, very sorry that we can't do that, but you know, park rules, and we're not going to break them since we love coming here so much. But take it upon us, if you've never been to Xtreme Scream Park, this is where you need to come. Right, we're going to the Pie Factory. We'll give you our thoughts afterwards. It has suddenly got very, very busy around this area, particularly Ashes to Earth, which is the new maze for 2021. However, taking a quick break. Now then, we did just go through the Pie Factory, which has changed for 2021 with some new scenes at the end. It's been quite nice actually, because you're not being grouped really with loads of people. You do catch up some people, which is kind of expected, I think, when you go to scare mazes. You might miss out on some scares. However, you might get extra scares where they don't jump out in the first group. So it is a bit of a hit and miss, to be honest with you. Now, the Pie Factory never fails to deliver, and this year is no different. But once inside, the beginning bit is all very much familiar, quite the same, to be honest, as you walk through. Quite a lot of actors in there. Whilst there are more animatronics, I'd say, around the park than before, and we said this last year as well, there are quite a lot of animatronics around. There are quite a lot of actors in the Pie Factory, probably more, I think, than what we've seen in any of them, to be fair. And you kind of go through, and then you know when you're stepping into the new bit, and then all of a sudden it switches. It switches to big barrels, it switches to a wonderful oven section. I loved it, really, really loved it, and a really tight walk down the side of the container. The finale was, again, quite strong. Once you go through kind of the final scene, you head out and you're chased out by the chainsaw, which is the same as previous years. It is a really, really good length maze, and the detail is fantastic. It really is. So the little pots they have of food, you know, and you see people dismantled as you go through. I mean, particularly the blokes missing their penises is quite common as you walk through. And then as you get further through, they're missing more and more limbs until the final scene where it's literally a completely bone skeleton with just the head there. And it kind of gives you the sense of, you know what's going on if you didn't really know already, to be honest with you. I love the Pie Factory, love it, love it, love it. Long live that at Xtreme Scream Park. Yeah, brilliant. So we've done 5 mazes and the Unfair Fun Fair. You know, the Hoodoo Voodoo was incredible, absolutely incredible. Really, really enjoyed that. The Belvoir Manor looks fantastic. I prefer it to Stilton Hall Hotel. I think it had so much more going for it, especially when it had another floor. There were more places to hide. But it is a good maze. It is a really, really solid attraction. Fantastic looking, and again, fantastic actors inside. We've then gone around to Hell Penitentiary, which I have to say, I didn't enjoy at all. I don't enjoy the new lighting on it. I don't get it. It's just a real shame. The Village then is a standout maze still for me at Xtreme Scream Park. The school scene, I go on about it all the time, is incredible. I just love it. The creepiness, the scenery, you know, the thought that it's clearly a primary school that you're walking through. You know, even the toilets are themed with the nice coloured doors which you get at primary school. It's the little details, as we said, on the high theming which this park has. And I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So far, my favourite maze. Unfair Fun Fair was weird, but I came out smiling, so I guess it worked. I guess it worked. And then, of course, the Pie Factory, which never fails to deliver a real staple of the park for scares, jump scares, and indeed, you know, scenery and theme. Really, really enjoyed it. So we do have just the 1 maze left. We're going to wait a little bit for the queue to hopefully die down. It does seem that everyone's coming to it at once. Ashel's got a little bit of the queue now, but everything else, to be fair, has been walk-on. The park isn't sold out tonight, but there's a fair amount of people here. A lot of drunk people, which I always find a bit weird when you come to this place and, you know, it opens at 6:30 and everyone's drunk by 7. But, you know, everyone's having a great time. The clowns are out enjoying people, you know, entertaining people. The Toxic Dolls have been on already. We'll definitely catch them again later. There's a good range of food, you know, facilities. It looks really, really good. Yeah, really, really enjoying our evening here at Xtreme Scream Park with just the 1 maze left to do. There's the Unfair Fun Fair. Very odd. Very, very odd. And there is Ashes to Earth. Just got to digest Ashes to Earth. We'll do that as we walk back round towards the entrance there, I think. Very odd maze. There's Excalibur flying around. Now, we did note actually the queues, apart from that one, the queues don't look too bad tonight. I don't know whether or not they can't be sold out. I mean, Hoodoo Voodoo is walk-on. We do that first because generally it has a really, really long queue, which is why I don't do it sort of towards the end, but that's walk-on. Everything's been walk-on apart from Ashes to Earth, which is the one we've just done. got some pace to it actually, that Starflyer, to be fair. We're going to head back round to the entrance now, catch some of the theming, sum up Ashes to Earth, sum up the event. Off it goes again, look. Excalibur lighting up the night. Now I'm very cautious because I know when I film, particularly at Xtreme Theme Park, no one can see me. So I'm going to stand under a light with the dull head here. So that was Ashes to Earth that we've just been in. I have to say, after coming out of it, I have no idea what it's about, genuinely. So you walk in and it kind of feels like a bit of a toxic wasteland area. You've got, it's effectively a cornfield maze. So you walk in between sets, if you will, you're walking in a cornfield. Walking around the cornfield, there's a few jump scares coming out of the corn, as you'd expect, you know, quite low lit, and you go into different areas. So one of the areas we went through is just full of bottles, recycled bottles. You know, she was like, we recycle everything, and you walk through hanging bottles, you know, you kind of batten them out the way for your head. As you go through the next one, it's full of animals. You know, there's loads of dangling rubber chickens that make the squeaky sound, followed by a room of pigs on a wall, and also the pig as well, which was in the pie factory. The big animatronic one is also in that room. Yeah, towards the end it's very much the same theme as that. There's a massive cow in there which starts off with a head, and then it's a UV skeleton. This is very peculiar, to be fair. Whilst, you know, I know what the pie factory is about. It's about cutting up people. You know what the village is about. It's about scarecrows. You know, Hoodoo Voodoo is about voodoo. It's not, you don't need sort of a brain to think about it in the nicest way. I have no idea what that's about. Not a clue. Not a clue. Now, funny enough, the first scene you go into, for me, should have been the finale. Now the finale was chainsaws, and it's kind of staggered. You've got staggered boards at the end, metal boards at the end, so he can run behind, come back out, and really kind of make the most out of everyone that goes in there. So it's really, really good, to be fair, the chainsaws at the end. But yeah, the first one you go into is a caravan, and you don't really pay attention, although there is an actor in the caravan, you don't really pay attention to what's going on. As you walk in, the caravan tilts, so you just, the instant thought in your head is, this caravan's tilting over, why the bloody hell is it moving? And it just caught everyone off guard. It really, really did. And it's probably why they leave a guaranteed, they're there with a timer guaranteeing 30 seconds between groups. And that's probably why, because if you've got someone one end of the caravan and one end of the other, it wouldn't work quite as well. And that's probably, again, why they've got it in the first scene, not as finale, to be honest with you. But I'd have liked to have seen that at finale, maybe with someone breaking up, you know, groups in between hand. I think it would have worked really, really well, because it caught everyone off as it tilted back. And as you walked over, the actress, you know, pretty much laughed at you, to be honest, for nearly falling over. And then it tilts back on the other side. It was brilliant, 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 brilliant. The maze as a whole, actually, is very good. It is very good. It's very different. You know, the jump scares in the corn are very good. The caravan is one of the best effects I've seen in many, many years. I can't remember, actually, in all my years going to mazes, seeing an effect like that. I think it's the first time I've seen it. So a huge thumbs up for that. And a chainsaw ending, you know, never fails to get people running out of a maze as a general rule. No jump scares in there, to be fair. But yeah, I'd like to know what the story is. I mean, I go on the back on the website and have a read. I actually don't really understand what it was. I don't understand it was, and it definitely adds to, you know, it adds to the theme if you know what's going on and you know what the end goal is, and I just didn't know what the end goal was. The problem with corn mazes, and corn mazes have been cut down, you know, when we first started doing scare mazes, you know, when Fright Nights and Scarefest started, you know, Alton Towers had Field of 1,000 Screams, for instance. It used to be really quite intense walking through these mazes, but mazes have developed so much over the past couple of years that walking through just corn with little lights and things coming out doesn't have the same effect as what it does. So I'd like to see a little bit more in there. It is, of course, the first year of it. As with most mazes, it will improve, but some cracking effects in there, a massive thumbs up. So, Xtreme Theme Park. Xtreme Scream Park. I'm going to get that right, I really am. What do we think? As always, a solid event, a real solid event. You know, highlight maze for me is the Village, closely, and I mean really closely, maybe level with Hoodoo Voodoo, which were both on top form. They are up there with me as some of the best mazes produced in the UK, bar none, bar none. Some of the scenes fantastic. Massive event, great event. I love Xtreme Scream Park. You can see we sport the merch. We've been here many times. So yeah, massive thumbs up for the event. The entertainment's been brilliant. The fire dancers have been brilliant. There's been shows on as well, which was really great, and we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. Some 2 great mazes. I'll tell you now, you know, we've had some great mazes. Trailers at Fort Park right up there with a great maze. Village and Hoodoo Voodoo, join those as well. There are other mazes coming. These may not go up in order as well because we've got other places to visit. But right up there, of course, at the end of Halloween, we will do our review in which we'll pick our best maze and our best park. Will it be Xtreme Scream Park? It could well be. It could well be. It's a fantastic visit. If you've never been before, I highly recommend it. But my name's Adam. This has been UK Theme Parks from a dark Xtreme Scream Park. We've had an amazing time, but it's time to move on to the next one now. Where will it be? Stay on the channel. You'll soon find out.